mi tan la koua. Ma pe mande si pa gen gran moun o. Oh lan la koua. Dis-moi rive, moi rive, moi rive, moi rive, moi rive, moi rive, moi rive. Oh lan mi tan la koua. Ma pe mande si pa gen gran moun o. Oh lan la koua. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. I'm gonna find you and take it slowly. Silence chose me. I didn't choose silence. Silence immobilized me. I couldn't breathe in my own skin without breaking the silence. I could not live in the castle of my skin. As I came of age colonized, knowing I wasn't meant to survive, I screamed. Knowing the power of the erotics, I screamed out loud words that resonated the sound of a hammer slamming on a nail going through flesh. Hollers, screams, just another black woman hollering screams like Carolyn, Catherine, Ellen, Ella. Like Zora, Audrey, Gloria, Sandra, hollering creaks, hollering creaks, hollering creaks to crack, hollering creaks to crack the gatekeeper and the ivory tower's mirror. Creaks can crack a mirror. A creak can crack a mirror. A creak can crack a mirror. Keep out the creaks that can turn into cracks. You reaffirm our silences. You keep out the creaks that can turn into cracks. You reaffirm our silences. The creaks that make the cracks that be too wild, they need to be tamed. The creaks that make the cracks that be too wild, they need to be contained. You either be that or disappear. Why do they think so many black women in anthropology keep turning to the arts? A little bit of my origin story. I wrote that piece after I defended my dissertation. I was what is known nowadays as a first-generation student. First to go to college, first to become a professional, first to get a Ph.D., first to write a book, first to get tenure, first. I like to call these firsts my giant leaps. And I mean giant leaps. And for you to get an idea of how gigantic, I need to take you back a little. I need to take you back to when I was growing up in Haiti. I wanted to be a singer. Then we migrated to the US. I didn't just want to be a singer, no. I wanted to become a rock star. I'm talking Madison Square Garden, Meadowlands Arena, Wembley Stadium, U2 sold out, Tina Turner sold out tour kind of rock star. That's right. Blame it on the 80s, MTV, but I was going to become a rock star. So I went to New York City, gave it a little try. Things didn't quite work out, so I did what I thought any good Catholic schoolgirl who is dedicated to our country should do. I decided to get a Ph.D. The thing is, over the years, I'd grown so sick and tired of people always asking me, why is Haiti so messed up? Why is Haiti so poor? And what's that voodoo thing that you do? By the way, that's not how we spell it. That is not how we spell it. It was always a lot of why. And wannabe rock star girl, she's fierce. Oh, she would flip people the bird. The answer is, it's not why. It's not why. The answer is never simple. It's how did this happen? How did this happen over time? All right, fast forward. 7 years later, I get the degree. My mother comes to graduation and she says, wow, Gina, you did this all by yourself. Actually, I didn't. When I got here to U of M, remember, first generation, I didn't have a map. I didn't even have a compass. And a friend of mine likes to say, the academy is like the X-Files. trust no one. When you're taking giant leaps in this world where the truth is out there somewhere, you need mentors. You need guidance. You need people who will watch out for you. You need people who will steer you. And I had that. I had that. I was also part of this great community of peers, artists, town folks who were totally committed to social justice. I didn't know it at the time. Wannabe rock star and anthropologist, they were bartering all the time and they were constantly fighting. Remember, one wanted to sing her little heart out, and then the other one wanted to master theory. The body was getting disconnected from the mind, and that wasn't working well. Wannabe rock star just kept pushing the boundaries of traditional anthropology. But in the meantime, little bits of theory started to spill into my songs. And then I started to reference everybody. I mean, I'm always referencing other poets to such a point when you hear me, you need a bibliography. I'm always referencing people. And the voodoo chants, that's how Haiti came back into my world. At the time, I was doing my dissertation on Jamaica. That's basically the story of how my spoken word performance work was born right here in Ann Arbor at U of M. To put it another way, I'm always doing a remix. Moi di ferayom laissé, oh ferayom laissé, gade m'blessé feray moi pa wè san moi. She never apologized for who she was. She never apologized for who she was. With her, there was no pretense, there was no shame. What you saw was what you got. She was a peasant. So what? She was illiterate. So what? She was a street vendor. So what? She had a lot of children. So what? She smoked a pipe, chewed tobacco, and was a heavy drinker. So what? She was born of a family who loved to serve her spirits. So fucking what? We dwell way beyond your logic. We dwell way beyond your logic. If we didn't define ourselves for ourselves, no, wait up. If I didn't define myself for myself, if I did not define myself for myself, I would be crunched up into other people's fantasies for me, and I would be eaten alive. I exist as I am, and that is enough. I exist as I am, and that is enough. I exist as I am, and that is enough. That piece, that's about my maternal grandmother. Like I said, giant leaps. Giant leaps. As I was preparing for this talk a couple weeks ago, I got a case of shingles. Now, those of you who know what it is, and those of you who don't, let me just say, you would not wish that pain on your worst enemy. Heavily medicated, I went into total contemplation state. And this is, I mean, what else happens? You turn inward. And I actually have several things that came to me that I'd like to leave with you with today. The first, in doing the research, I went to the mothership, TEDTalks, looking at other talks about Haiti. And what I found was that with the exception of one, most of the talks, actually all the other talks, are about post-quake Haiti, with Haitians as basically disaster victims in need of saviors. I not only want to meet Ted, I want to do lunch with Ted. I'd like to talk with Ted and say, Ted, come on. We too are innovative. We too have ideas worth spreading. And that's the danger of the single story that Chimamanda talks about. We need new perspectives on Haiti. As someone who is an expert in issues of representation, I don't think it's an epic fail. I think we can fix it, so give me a call. We'll do lunch. The other thing I realized, I thought I loved Van Gogh before, now I know why I do. I swear Van Gogh had shingles. That's why he cut off his ear. He had shingles. I swear by it. Which brings me to my final point. When you have pain so consuming, so arresting, you either get rid of it, which is what Vincent did, or if you're me, in my age, you pull out your Louise Hay book and you start to wonder, why am I being tortured? The thing is, the shingles was in my right ear. And then I got Bell's palsy. I started to freak out because it was in my right ear, the right side of my face, the right side of my head, the right side of my brain. That's where the creative impulse lies, the right side of my brain. That remains the untapped part of me. You see, Wannabe Rock Star was all about self-expression, like this desperate, desperate desire to tell her truth as she knows it. Anthropologist, duty to country. Sees herself as a global citizen, a sense of responsibility. The two have been more or less separate over the years. You know, one wrote a book, more than one book. The other one did a CD. But with time, we've been merging, and we have merged, and we are merging, and we are merging, and we've become this performer. That is the untapped potential that I have that I've yet to access. And I'm as excited as I am scared by it. I'm excited because I'm no longer split. I'm scared because, honestly, I have absolutely no idea what I am capable of as an artist. None. But I'm excited because the untapped potential is actually a remix of myself. Wannabe rock star, anthropologist, artist, social scientist, self-expression, duty to country, love of self, love of country, love of self, love of country. Dis-moi rive, oh la la koua, ma pe mande si pa gen gran mouno, oh la la koua. Dis bonjour maman, oh bonjour petite caille moué, bonjour maman. Oh, bonjour, petite caille, moi. Oh, l'ami dans la cour, m'a demandé si pas gen grand mouno. Oh, dans la cour. Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. Gonna find you and make you